So how do I go about placing a drawing area title? It seems pretty complex. Well, the easiest way is to come into the cells and blocks and go to the AEC block libraries and go down to go to the drawing area titles and look at your drawing and see how many drawing grids that you will need to cover. So if you have a detail that's in something like that area, it would be a 5 grid drawing area title. So you would come over to the 04 or 014200 drawing area grid 5 grid and double click on it and then snap to the corner of the drawing. Then you would edit the text, and these are tags. So the lower left corner is A1. The scale of this drawing would be whatever the scale that your reference or your detail was at. Could be not to scale. And give it the title of the detail, whatever it would be. Another thing that makes it easier is that there is a north arrow. So if you go to the plan north, right below that, you can snap right to the end point of the line, and that places it where the National CAD standard says it should be. And then you need to figure out what scale it is. If it's not to scale, you wouldn't have a bar scale, but if it is to scale, you might use one of these others. And if it was full scale, you could double click on the full scale title bar, edit the text to say full scale, and you'd have a drawing area title. Another thing that some people want to do is put notes onto in their details. So there is a detail note cell, and that one also snaps to the intersection of the grid. And when you edit this, you can add more lines. So if I say line 1, line 2, line 3, you'll notice that the notes will move up as you add more lines, and that puts it in the proper location for the notes. There are some places that use back referencing. Since there is nothing in the National CAD standards to describe how a back reference would happen, and to maintain the structure that the National CAD Standards calls for, we added another cell that if you choose to use, there's nothing requiring it, but there is a back reference cell, and that one again snaps to the intersection of the grid. And at this point you would put in what sheet the detail or the section or whatever it was cut on. So let's say this was on A101 that it was cut on, and then what grid location you would find that section cut or detail or whatever that back reference would point to. So maybe that one would be found in maybe like D5. And that would be a proper back reference, because that would make it easy for the person looking for the back reference to be able to find that grid location where it would be located.